Hello everyone, this is Durga Kalyan Gandipaina. Today I'm going to talk about a fascinating topic in the field of natural language processing, that is sentiment and emotion analysis. In particular, we explore how we can analyze sentiment using NLTK library in Python. So, sentiment analysis is a powerful tool for understanding the emotions behind the text data, and it has applications in the area like customer service, brand monitoring, and even social media analysis. Let's dive in to see how it works. So coming to the next slide, what is sentiment analysis? Sentiment analysis is a process of identifying and categorizing opinions expressed in text, especially to determine whether the writer's attitude is positive, negative, or neutral. This analysis can tell us how people feel about a topic, or a product, or a service. For instance, when we read reviews online, we often look at sentiment. So people expressing satisfaction or dissatisfaction. It's a crucial for business because understanding the customer sentiment can shape their marketing strategies and improve customer satisfaction. And coming to the next slide. So why we use sentiment analysis? So sentiment analysis has many applications. Companies use it to analyze social media posts, product reviews, and feedback to understand the people's opinion on their brand. By automatically detecting emotions in the text, they can quickly respond to the customer complaints, engage public prescription, and or even track competitors. So behind business and beyond the business, sentiment analysis is also used in fields like healthcare and politics to analyze public opinion trends on various issues. So coming to the next slide, why NLTK library for sentiment analysis? So I choose NLTK or the Natural Language Toolkit for sentiment analysis because it's one of the most user-friendly and versatile libraries in Python for NLP. It comes with a pre-built tool and data sets, making it especially accessible for beginners and those who want to experiment quickly with the text pre-processing tasks. So NLTK has tools for tokenization, steaming, and even pre-trained sentiment analysis. So like Vader, which we use in our example. So in this particular presentation, so we are using Vader extension for the sentiment analysis. So coming to the installation. So setting up NLTK is straightforward. All you need to do is run the command pip install NLTK in your command prompt. So or in your Python environment. Once NLTK is installed, we also need to download some of its datasets and lexicons like Vader lexicon. So which is especially useful for sentiment analysis. So why we are using Vader lexicon is a pre-built sentiment analyzer ideal for English text. So for the data processing, so I have a demo to demonstrate the code. So by end of this presentation, I'll demonstrate the code with the real-time examples. So before diving into the sentiment analysis, first we need to prepare our data. So this involves tasks like tokenization, which breaks text into individual words, and removing stop words, common words like the and is that don't add much meaning. So pre-processing is essential to ensure that we are focusing on meaningful content. Here some example code to show how NLTK makes the process simple. So here we see we importing NLTK libraries from in your Python, and this is the text we are using. So it's like an example text. So coming to the next slide, sentiment analysis with Vader. So now let's move to the core of our presentation, performing sentiment analysis using NLTK Vader. So Vader is a lexicon based tool that's especially good with the social media text. It assigns positive, negative, neutral scores to the text along with a compound score, that summarize overall sentiment. Let's look at a quick example. So in the by the end of this presentation, I'll show the example code, or like a real-time code to demonstrate the real-time examples. I'm taking some sentences for the for to demonstrate the real-time code. So running the sentiment analysis on sample text is our final output. So here I have run Vader on some example or a sample sentences to show how it interrupts various types of sentiment. As you can see, a highly positive review scores high on positive scale, whereas a negative sentiment results in high negative scores. This type of analysis helps in quick understanding and the sentiment behind the large amount of data. So here I'm demonstrating the working demo code of sentiment and emotion analysis using NLTK. So here I code this code in a Google Colab, and later I imported to the Visual Studio Code. Here you can see my Visual Studio Code, and this is the actual code. Coming to the actual code, here I'm at first I imported a NLTK sentiment analyzer. Here you can clearly see the sentiment analyzer I imported from the Python library. So it's very easy. Using NLTK libraries in Python is very easy process. That's why I choose NLTK. Sentiment analysis, sentiment and emotion analysis using NLTK. And the next thing we need to do is import NLTK and download Vader extension. Like it's a Vader Lex icon. So here I downloaded the Vader Lex icon, and then we have to initialize the sentiment analyzer. So here I initialize SIA here. So sentiments intensity analyzer SIA, and later I have given a list of sentences. Here you can see I love this product, it's fantastic. So this particular sentence seems like a positive. So we have to get the positive result. In the result you have we'll get the positive for this sentence. So this is the worst experience I have ever had. It seems like a negative, and it's okay, nothing special. It seems like a negative and a bit of a neutral sentence because there is no emotion in it. But the meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. tomorrow. So this is a neutral sentence. So if you see, there is no emotion, there is no positive, there is no negative words in it. It's just telling you about the meeting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's it. So after all, we have to analyze the sentiment. So from after analyzing the sentiment, so we'll get the final result to this print statement. So if you run this code, we have this code will check all the sentences, like what is positive and what is negative and what is neutral. So later I'll explain in the presentation that from which basis I consider the sentence as a positive, or I consider the sentence as a negative. So here if you see, I took a compound of 0.05 for the positive. If the compound is greater than or equals to the 0.05, so it's a positive, it's a clear positive sentence. So if the compound is less than or equals to minus 0.05, so it's clearly a negative sentence. And if there is no value in it, there is no minus or plus, it's a neutral. For this for to do this, I use if else statements. So in these loops, from these loops we'll get the exact emotion or exact sentiment of that particular sentences. Here in this analyzer, we'll divide the sentence into a parts, some words and for the words in this code, in this particular code, it eliminates the common and special uh, words like the, is, if. So there is no point of putting in the sentence because there is no sentiment in those common words or common sentences. So in this particular section, all the common words are removed, the and the base words are remain the same for the analysis of sentiment and emotion. So for the base word sentence, the base word sentiment goes to this print statement. So finally we'll get the result. So if I run this code, we'll clearly see the result. So here we see it take a couple of minutes or couple of seconds to run this code. So let's wait. So here you see it gives a couple of results. So if you see, there is a package downloaded where a lexicon to my path. You see my name here and my file location. And coming to the sentence, I love this product, it's fantastic. So the score is above 0.05, that means 0.73. So the compound is 0.8. So it's clearly a positive statement. So I in the previous session, I told you before, like, the I love this product, it's fantastic, it seems like a positive, and we'll get the result as a positive. And coming to the next sentence, this is the worst experience I ever had. So it's clearly a negative statement because the compound is 0.06. And so if you see the neutral sentence, the meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. tomorrow. So if you see, there is no compound value, so there is no less than or equals to 0.05, or there is no equals to 0.05. So the if else statement is considered, the loop is working properly. So here you see the neutral, the sentiment is neutral, the meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. tomorrow. So there is no positive or negative sentiment or any emotion in this particular sentence. It's just telling you about the meeting and the timing when it happens. So coming to the next sentence, absolutely terrible, not recommended. So it seems like a review for the product in online. So a disappointed customer giving a feedback to the product seems like a negative. So here you see the compound value is 0.6 minus 0.6, so the sentiment is clearly negative. So coming to the next sentence, pretty good, but there is no room for improvement. So pretty good seems it's a positive emotion to feel good. So the compound is 0.7 and the sentiment is positive. So by this, I hope you all get a clear idea about the how the sentiment and emotion analysis are done using NLTK libraries in Python. So this is the demo, and this is the demo for the sentiment and emotion analysis using NLTK. So from hereafter, I'll continue my presentation. Understanding. So let's break down the sentiment scores. The compound score is a useful measure that ranges from -1 to 1. So here value closer to 1 represents a positive sentiment, and a value closer to -1 indicates a negative sentiment. In practical applications, a threshold is often like 0.5 or minus 0.5. So as we've seen before in the code, we took a compound as 0.05 and minus 0.05. So to classify text as a positive, negative, or a neutral. So that's for the demo. And coming to the next slide, real world examples. So, sentiment analysis has proven valuable across many industries. In customer service, it's used to analyze complaints and feedbacks. In marketing, brand monitor social media to track consumer sentiment towards a new product. And in politics, sentiment analysis can track public opinion on policy changes. By implementing this technology, organizations can respond more effectively and adapt their strategies based on real time feedback. And coming to the challenges, so of course, sentiment analysis isn't without its challenges. Language is inherently complex, and sarcasm, slang, and context can be difficult for algorithm to interpret accurately. So Veda performs well with a social media language, but sentiment analysis can still misinterpret stable nuances or ambiguous sentiments. In research, we are seeing a lot of work on making these tools more sophisticated, including deep learning techniques. So, in the summary, to summarize, we have seen the sentiment analysis is a valuable tool for understanding emotions in text with application across industries. NLTK Swader is a great tool for performing basic sentiment analysis. And while it's effective, there are challenges due to language complexities. So I hope this presentation has give you a good overview of a sentiment analysis and its possibilities. So thank you for listening, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. So thank you all. Thank you so much.